Hey there guys, and welcome back to EMS, and today we're going to show you how to install your PRL Motorsports Titanium Turbo Inlet Pipe. Whew! And this will work for any 2017 to 2021 Honda Civic Type Rs. And a little disclaimer here is that on their website it states that this is only compatible with their high volume intake system. So for the required tools on this installation, you're going to need a 3/8 or a 1/4 inch drive ratchet, a 6-inch and a 3-inch extension, an 8mm socket, a 10mm socket, a 12mm socket, and a screwdriver. Also, power tools make this a lot faster. So first we're going to take off the engine cover, which is secured down by 10mm bolts. Then you can start loosening up the clamps on the tubing. Now we're going to take off these 4 10mm bolts on the 2 steel lines that run parallel with the intake tubing. Next we're going to take off these 2 10mm bolts that secure this plastic wire loom onto the inlet tubing. I also went ahead and marked them with red arrows just to help you identify which ones we're going to take off. Next, we're going to try to get to these 2 12mm bolts that secure the piping onto the turbo housing. It's kind of difficult, and I went to try to get a different camera angle, a different kind of camera shot for you guys. But it's pretty hard to get it on camera, so this is the best. I went ahead and put some red arrows to help you identify it, but if you just follow the piping, you'll be able to see where they lead to. Now you're going to want to shimmy it out, and just make sure to take your time on this because it might get a little frustrating, but as always, be patient and it will come out. And then don't forget to clean up the mating surfaces from the turbo housing to the new piping. After you get it off, you can also take off the coupler at the airbox. Make sure you don't lose your inlet turbo piping gasket because we're going to have to reuse that. You could go ahead and drop the new elbow down to the turbo housing. And then again, one of the hardest parts is to put on those 2 12mm bolts back onto the turbo housing. And after you get that secure, don't forget about the 2 10mm bolts that go back onto that wire loom casing. And now to help you slip in the turbo piping into the couplers, I went ahead and used some silicone spray. You can use WD-40 or any other type of lubricant. And now we're going to get some of those hose clamps mocked up and get the piping kind of set and prepped, ready for installation. And then once you got both couplers on both sides, you can try to shimmy in the turbo piping. Once you got it all lined up, you'll be able to see that there's this 10mm bolt that goes just a little bit below the valve cover on the engine block that has a little rubber insulator where you can actually secure the new piping onto the engine block, which will make it rock solid and it won't go anywhere. And so once you get that done, don't forget to reinstall those 4 10mm bolts on those steel lines that run parallel with it. And then just start tying down all the hose clamps and securing everything and making sure everything's rock solid. And once you got that done, you can go ahead and admire all your hard work and all your blood, sweat, and tears that you put into this. Hopefully not a lot of blood. And a little side comment, don't forget the engine cover like I almost did. Thank you, bye!